what would you say the big differentiator or thing that makes HUD exciting is?
Yeah, so I'd say we're a layer below them, in the sense that there's a lot of vendors, and it's actually a very international thing. So there's vendors in the US, but also Canada and Europe and across Asia that make these environments and sell them to labs. And there's actually a whole supply chain of, okay, they need really good base data, right? So it's like, okay, we have like Salesforce configs or like different code bases that we use in order to like put in the simulated environment for the model, and then we have to create proper tasks for the model to do that that are too hard for the model. And this entire process requires a lot of parties to get everything from the data licensing right to getting the problems hard enough for the model to train on. And so we're sort of the platform that allows all those sort of parties to coordinate together and actually like get the final finished product. And if you're a lab or even just a enterprise team trying to train a model, we're the best platform to sort of build and procure this data.
Yeah, where our users benefit from the most is that we've had the experience of building these environments ourselves, but we've put all this experience and all this knowledge of, how do these templates work? How do you like start from different scenarios? How do you embed this knowledge that you have about the subject into an environment? We've embedded all of this into our product. And so it becomes super, super easy to take whatever skill set and whatever specific vertical that you're, passionate about or very experienced in and turn that into an environment that you can sell.
Yeah, it's almost like a picks and shovels thing where effectively you make it easy for anyone to sell their data to the labs as opposed to you are in the business of selling data to the labs. Is that fair? Am I getting that right?
Exactly. Yeah. Our North Star is like, how do we 100x the amount of quality post training data? If you think about the question like rationally, the way you'd get to that is by building HUD, right? So it's like, how do you give every business on earth the capacity to build really high quality post training data?
That sounds different. That sounds unique. Awesome. So maybe could you guys tell me just like the background of the company and how you ended up working on this?
Yeah. So Lawrence and I worked at a company called Hume, which is a voice AI lab, and there we saw a lot of problems with sort of data procurement and evals. And around October of 24, that's when computers came out, and that was the first thing we looked at. Is like, okay, the infrastructure for this and like running evals on this is very hard. So we want to build a platform for this, and sort of as we matured and we expanded to more domains, like oh, okay, like our customers now want to build environments for code and they want to build environments for law and environments for all these different modalities. We sort of expanded the platform to support all sorts of environments, and then the number one thing our customers all ask us for is like, okay, I built this environment, how do I sell it? And so by the time this comes out, we would have launched like vendor platform publicly, which is how you can sell your environments.
That makes sense. And so why hasn't someone already done this? Like,
Everyone who has like lab access right now, they typically how it looks is they have a talent pool, like a really large talent pool, and they sort of do all of the procurement of the base data and building of the environments themselves. And it's sort of in their interest to be like, okay, our mode as a company is that we're one of the 4 or 5 vendors that labs trust, and we'll be able to scale forever.
it's almost like the incentives are to hoard who your contacts are.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so that you stay as a middleman between people that are actually creating the data and the labs. And you guys are inverting that where you're making it easy for anyone to sell data to the labs.
Yeah, historically, like, data has been something where you're in the room, you're in San Francisco, right? Like you have these long-term relationships, but it's not just people like engineers in San Francisco who are capable of making frontier grade training data. There are experts around the world who are not in the room, but they're very happy to make this data. And so we see ourselves being more like critical infrastructure in like a data supply chain.
I'm imagining there's a lot more potential buyers of this type of data in the future. Is that like you're already kind of seeing that, right?
Even the number of labs training AI has increased. So even within companies, like enterprises, they're thinking, okay, how do we post train our own model for our own use cases to either save on cost or to sort of like be sovereign from the foundation labs. So the number of buyers is definitely increasing, and I think just the general demand for the tool. I mean, the best people in a company that can make data for the company are the employees of the company, right? Because they already know all the processes. So I think that sort of what it means to make post training data for enterprise will change a lot.